Gaz, here he is.
Yes.
Hello.
How
Good
are
to
we?
see you.
Good?
Very well, yes, thank you. Don't get many days like this in Plymouth, do we?
Nah, very rare. Obviously, normally quite wet in it in Plymouth, but this is actually a rare, beautiful blue day.
It is a beautiful day. Do you know why we're here at Home Park?
Yeah, I know why we're here, yeah.
What is it?
Memories of this place.
Memories of this place. Which, you know, you must have quite a few. 297 games in total. There must be quite a few in there.
It's close to 300, isn't it? Not quite. Yeah, look, good, bad, everything, I think. A lot of really, really good memories from this place. And yeah, had the majority of my career here and loved it. Loved every second.
The reason we've started here, guys, is because we've just got a...
I know what you're going to play.
Yeah, we've got the toilet behind you. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, we kind of put legends around the stadium. There are flags, there are banners, there are names, but a select few got a portaloo.
Yeah. I don't know what you want me to say about it, other than I'm in very, very good company.
You are, actually.
Jack Leslie, Mike Bickle, obviously Johnny Hoare, Frio, and obviously, of course, Tom and Tynan.
Yeah.
So to have myself on there, I'll be honest, I'm very proud to be on there. It's just a bit of a weird scenario, but yeah, I haven't been in it yet. Hopefully not a lot of fans have. But
that was going to be my next question. You haven't used the Sawyer facility yet.
I thought it might look a bit weird when I walk out of it, so I decided not to. But do you know what? If someone's willing to put my name somewhere and my face somewhere, I've done something right, eh?
Yeah. Right. I've got a load of questions, guys. So we'll start off. We'll just have a walk around Home Park. It's a beautiful day, so you know why not enjoy it. So, what emotions kind of come to mind for you when you're here?
It's because I grew up in North Devon. This was sort of the club that everyone supported. I went to school with and stuff like that. So. Because I spent a lot of time here as a kid, like in terms of like obviously I was a schoolboy here, and I was a youth team player here, and I was a pro here. It's just one joy, really. I said, like I've seen this transform into what this is today. I remember being a ball boy when they knocked down the free side, and you had all the gravel, and I was in the youth team then, so we were like sort of after our game, we used to kick off at 11 o'clock over Harper's in the youth team, and then we'd be on all the shingle and all the thing, running out trying to get the balls for the first team. So I've sort of seen this grow into everything. I played here when it was originally what it used to look like, everyone remembers it. Walked down the back steps down to the training ground and everything, and then obviously as it grew and went with that, I turned pro and carried on playing, and got every sort of part of it.
I was going to mention the changes because I wasn't quite sure when your first kind of experience of Home Park would have been, but it would have been in its primary state before.
Yeah. So the first game I played here was in the youth team in an FA Youth Cup game. I think it was because I was a schoolboy, but that was actually before it looked. It was where it looked the old ground effectively, and then they obviously knocked the whole thing down when I was in the youth team, and then built it up to what we see now. But yeah, I actually had a lot of times as a schoolboy coming in to play and stuff like that. And I think I got on it once. I think it was only once I got on it in how it looked then. But I remember playing. I think it was an FA Youth Cup game. When I was a schoolboy I was involved in, so I got on the pitch and played then. But yeah, how it used to look. So really fortunate to have gone through everything and been in every change room that we've had, the put up ones, the main ones, and now the new corner ones. So yeah, there's been quite a few. Yeah.
As a ball boy, when there was no stand, that must have been quite a run. If someone had like pelted the ball into row Z, but row Z would have been I don't know, 200 metres away.
Well, you've got to think back then as well. Like the first team were quite harsh on the youth team, shall I say, in probably the nicest way. So if the ball went, and it did a lot of the time, obviously you had all this stand was busy and it obviously fully packed because of thing, but then you had all of us dotted round on thing. Health and safety wise, I don't know, nowadays there's no way in the world the youth team are going there and doing it, but we were like tasked with getting the ball back in play as soon as possible. So yeah, as soon as the ball went, you run in, you can hear like people like Watsy and boys like that, Coughlin and stuff like that, screaming at you, get the ball back going. But you're running over like rubble and everything like that to get it back. So it's quite an enjoyable time because as a youth team player, obviously you play over there, come here and see the first team, and you almost had this really weird, unbelievable seat that you could just watch the game on your own, sat on a bit of rock, really. So it's nice.
Did you have idols or like people you looked at in the first team then when you were doing that, when you were on the side and think that's what I kind of want to be like?
Yeah, well I think obviously Paul Watton was probably one of the main ones. I think he was obviously the pinnacle of what you want when he was Mr. Plymouth Argyle, so everyone wants to be the captain. I always wanted that for myself. He was a difficult person to please, as everyone knows, but I love Watsy. He was great with me, amazing with me. But people like probably Brian McGlinchey, he was a big one for me because he was a left back, and obviously at the time I was a left back. And you look at people that are similar in terms of that, and John Besweatherick was obviously in the first team at the time there as well, good player. but they were all really. We were quite close to them because obviously we used to train over Harper's, and so you'd be involved with them quite often. So they were quite good with you, really harsh on you, really harsh on you, which is the game sort of changed slightly now, but. No, they were great, but I'd say Watsy, because Watsy was the one that sort of you look at and you're like, look, he's come from Plymouth, he's loved in Plymouth, he's the captain of Plymouth. He was everything really.
Yeah. Do you know? Now this is a bit of a shot to the dark, but do you know how many games you've actually played here?
No, actually.
Professional games, I'm going to say, because
no one's ever asked me that, to be honest.
So this is where my maths gets tested.
Yeah.
So of the
don't ask me any maths.
the 297.
Yeah.
147 were here.
147, 147. That's right, isn't it? Me and
It's
Ronnie
not
O'Sullivan.
bad. Yeah. Are you any good on the?
Nah,
on the
I'd
snooker
like to
table?
say yes, but nah, not great. Although when we grew up playing it a little bit as kids, like with the youth team and stuff like that, because we had a bit more time then. But nowadays, don't go down the snooker.
Well, that's your name now, isn't it?
Yeah.
147.
147. Yeah. Well, I know 147's a lot. I know one of them was obviously the last time I ever played on it, which is obviously a brutal one. But like. It's nice to know that, because to be fair, it's probably a question I've been asked everything, but I've probably never been asked that. Yeah.
And I literally was counting my way through, so I probably got it wrong.
147's a nice number.
Let's go for a walk down pitch side. So a couple of quick fires here. You've worn plenty of kits at your time at Argyle.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one that was your favourite, what would
One
it
that
be?
was my favourite. One that was my favourite. The one I wore on my debut, which was the black one. The away one, but only purely because that was the first shirt I ever wore for Plymouth Argyle. So that was a big one for me. More recently, I think some of the newer kits have been amazing. I love the one where we had the all white with a green banner.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
Do you know what I think of a lot when I think of that kit is Jake Jervis scoring at Portsmouth.
Yeah, scoring a thing. Yeah. That was a real big kit for me. I love that one. To be fair, there's a lot of them. There's a lot I would forget, to be honest. I really like the Adidas ones. When we had the two Adidas kits, I thought they were really nice. The green and the white one of them were really nice. There are a couple back in the day, we used to have like Patrick, obviously, as the thing, and the size of it was just ridiculous. And I look back on, I've got all my shirts at home, obviously all like bagged up. But some of them, I hold them up now and just think, how on earth could you run around with that? Like the sleeves.
Like a parachute.
They were short sleeve, but they were sort of long sleeve. But horrible things, big orange kits, big red Ginksters on it, which obviously, since we've changed that, it looks amazing, doesn't it, on the shirt. Obviously, when we used to have, when they made the sort of the branding different, but when we used to have the big red pasty badge on the front of you with an orange kit, it just, weren't really great, was it? But
bit of a clash.
Yeah, a bit of a clash.
So you're going for the black one, I remember it.
Black one only purely, I think, probably because, obviously, probably slightly different. It's just purely because it was the first time I played for Plymouth Argyle. It was away at Colchester. Yeah. And I feel that probably meant a lot to me. I actually give that shirt to my youth team boss, the one that I wore in that game, because I feel like, so David Newton it was, obviously I had him and Stuart Gibson. Yeah. But I give that one to David Newton. He was amazing with me. I feel like, when you meet that one person that sort of gets you there, I feel like that was him. I feel like he did that for me.
These are supposed to be quick fire, by the way. So anyway, that's a lovely answer. If you weren't a footballer, what else would you have done?
Honestly,
yes.
I'd have probably been on site, I reckon. Okay. Wasn't really that great in school. I got through it, but I'd have gone on with my mates and stuff like that, and I'd have probably gone and got a trade and done that way.
Okay. Classic question that you probably would have been asked when you had to fill in like program info stuff as a player. But if someone was to play you in a movie, who would you want to have playing you?
Yeah, it's hard. Probably Brad Pitt, innit? You probably want Brad Pitt to do it, just because it's just, it's Brad Pitt, innit?
What would the film be called if it was about you?
God, don't know.
147?
318? 318. 2 numbers of Water Plymouth.
Okay, 318, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18, what was the... Was there a...
It was
just
nothing.
Whatever was available?
There was nothing, but obviously I got asked, when you come for the youth team, you hope you get a shirt. I never got one, so I was one of the only players in my age that didn't get a shirt when I was in the youth team. So then when I signed pro, I got asked, and obviously there's a real numbers that are quite high up, and 18 was there, and I always liked that number growing up and that, and I thought, you know what, I'll try that one. So I kept it out for quite a while, and then obviously ended up being free.
Okay, obviously front and back, if you had to be stuck in a lift with either Jamie Mackey or Joe Edwards, who would you choose to be stuck in there?
Probably Joe, just purely because I don't know, I wouldn't get out alive with Jay. See, Jay's one of my best mates, obviously I'm so close with him. Joe, I'm mad tight with as well. But I could probably have a proper conversation with Joe Edwards, whereas Jay, I'd be worried that he'll get out the elevator and cut the things and we'll come flying down or something like that.
He'd try and get you out of it.
He's a bit madder than Joe, yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, obviously, we are stood pitch side. We started at the beginning of this kind of saying, what memories does this evoke up? But do you have any specific games where when you stood now as watching this as a match day and you look back and you think, yeah, that was.
I think considering where we are here in relation to obviously the pitch and that, obviously when Hartley scores against Portsmouth,
probably celebrated
and
about
it's literally probably like here. Yeah, I know it's hard to think, but you look up and it is around this sort of area of everyone.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone coming down. That was one of the highest moments. I think. I don't know. Like I'm really lucky. I've had lots, but like that was huge. I think because it was against Portsmouth as well, and obviously we score in the home end as well, and then the just celebration because it was a late goal. And it was just, I don't know, that was a feeling like it's very rare to get that sort of thing. That would be probably arguably one of my best feelings, having been pretty much right where we're standing. So,
it is. I just remember Jake Jervis jumping into the crowd.
Yeah, well, he just jumped. Yeah, I don't know how he ain't done his leg or something like that, but he just obviously went, he was quick anyway, wasn't he, Jake? But obviously I'm running from the halfway line to get him for it. But the feeling of that was just like, nothing not a lot I've been involved with before. It was lovely.
That season and quite a few seasons afterwards, those battles with Portsmouth were massive, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily a close rival in terms of where we are in the country or what have you, but I don't know. There was a thing, wasn't there? Both of us being in League Two at the same time.
Yeah, it's well, they play really good football, and playing at their place is quite difficult because they're really on you and stuff like that. But it's a really good ground to play at. Obviously, this is amazing here when they come and play here, but it become almost like, I played in the Exeter one quite a few times. I don't know what they were saying about the Portsmouth game. It just was a bigger game, if I'm being honest. That's what it felt like. They were always obviously high flying. We were up there as well with it, and them games were just huge. Good quality games, really aggressive, and it sort of created this mad derby out of sort of. I mean, it's 3 hours away from here. It's not close, is it? Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But really weird feeling, and that's why I probably say that memory of when he scored that, because obviously it was a second leg as well, and you know what it means that when you win it. Not that we'll talk about what happened after that, but like the
this isn't Wembley memory.
This is just thing. But just in terms of this, that gave me probably one of my biggest or best feelings I've had in this stadium.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was a day similar to today, actually.
Yeah, it was lovely,
really sunny. Another one I thought you might have said was obviously the year afterwards, when we ended up, having such a good promotion season. We had big games here against Exeter where we blew them off the park. And then obviously Newport right at the end of the season as well.
Yeah,
bittersweet memories for you that season with in and out of the side with injuries. But the Newport game must have been pretty special.
Well, Newport was 6-1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And sort of like, I remember that like so vividly, obviously for what it was. Like it was just, you knew you needed to do the job. I think we only needed to draw, if I'm right. I think we needed to draw because we'd actually played Portsmouth, didn't we, just before, and didn't end up getting promoted. We were still on the pitch thinking we were getting promoted, and I think someone scored late or something like that. And then so it come back to the Monday. I'm right in thinking it was a Monday. Easter Monday, wasn't it? Yeah, so the Easter Monday. So obviously before the game, everything's a little bit more because you know what the excitement of what could happen, and then obviously it's nervy, like really, really nervy, because obviously you couldn't have written it to go like that any better. But before that, obviously the driving and everything was a little bit heightened, and you just think, let's just get the first half done. Don't concede, and if we can go in 1-0 up or something like that, then we'll be all right. And then obviously we're 2-0 up, I think, at half time, and then it ends up being a bit of a strange game because then we go on to score, obviously 6-1 it finishes. And that was a little bit weird because I obviously you'd not expected that in your head. I thought it was going to be a really close game, and then, do you know what I mean, like it is. But that feeling of when the whistle blows of that, and then the relief of, I suppose it is a bit of relief, really, but you've done what you went out to do. That was an amazing feeling. Okay,
so winning promotion, and you've won it a couple of times with Argyle, of course. You mentioned the euphoria of the Portsmouth goal, but what is the feeling like of achieving something like that, the promotion? What's the overwhelming?
I don't think there's anything better. I just, it's like, well, like I said, really, there's a slight element of relief with it because I think obviously in that season when we obviously got promoted against Newport, it was sort of all year that was what we were aiming at and what we were, dare I say, expected to maybe get promoted. So it was yeah, it's weird because you've done your job and you've done everything you can, and every single game and every single day of training and everything that whole season just builds up to that. And when it happens, it's almost like this drop in weight off your shoulders, but twin with the most joyous, like amazing feeling. And it's there ain't anything matches it, and that's why you do it, and that's why like people that have had. I mean, I think of Sawyer, who I played with, he's had loads of promotions. I had a couple, but he's had a lot of them. Just if you could bottle that feeling, I've obviously now retired, but there's nothing that matches that. It's just a weird, like strange, like amazing feeling that you make so many people happy, and then obviously everyone floods the pitch, and yeah, it's really hard to put into words. Like it's just such an amazing thing to feel.
How do you compare that to the second one that we had?
Second one was obviously weird because you're at home, aren't you? Yeah. So again,
although I remember the pictures and the videos of you out socially distancing with
it was
Lowy and Shuey with the champagne.
You can't touch anyone on your like thing, but that was a weird one because of obviously COVID and all that and strange time. But again, different because obviously you haven't got it in front of everyone and can't celebrate it with everyone, but still the same meaning. I sat at home and it was just it's just a feeling again of like real sense of achievement, which is hard to combine football. I would say the ups and the downs, there's a lot more downs than there are ups with football. Mm-hmm. And you play this game for so many years and work so hard to sort of get success out of it. When you do get it, it's hard to enjoy it all because it goes so quickly, and then you're on to the next year and that happens. But it was a weird one, the COVID one, because you weren't with everyone. That's what made that one against Newport amazing. Yeah. But still, you sit there and obviously you've achieved something, which is the biggest thing.